Welcome to School Zone, the show all about your local school districts here in the White Mountains. I'm your host, John Larsen. Today we have Cynthia Whipple with us. We're really grateful that she's here. Thanks for taking the time. Cynthia is our high school choir director. She is also the department leader for the music department at the high school. And so to start out, Cynthia, I would really appreciate if you'd tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I was born and raised here in Show Low, Arizona. Went to the Show Low schools. I graduated from Show Low High School in 1999. Ages me a little bit, but it was a great place to grow up. Loved growing up here in Show Low. It was just a wonderful place. I was surrounded by family and friends. After I graduated, I went to Eastern Arizona College in Thatcher and pursued a degree in teaching and music education. When I finished my associate's degrees there, I went to BYU Hawaii. Loved it. It was a great place to go to school. I'd recommend it to anyone, but it was a great place to get to meet people from all around the world, and that's what I really loved about it. And I continued to pursue my degree in music, and I loved the cultural experiences that I got with the music. And so it was a lot of fun to bring some of those experiences and the knowledge and just those musical styles back with me to Arizona. I graduated in 2004 from BYU Hawaii, and then I started teaching in Joseph City, and I taught there for 3 years. And then in the fall of 2007, there was an opening for Show Low schools at the junior high. And I applied for the position, and it was great to be accepted to come back home. And so I taught at Show Low Junior High through the spring of 2012, where I taught choirs and a little bit of band, and loved that, every minute of it. And then in 2012, I took the high school position when Scott Gentry retired. So I've been working there as the choir director for the last 7 years, and it's been a lot of fun. And I love the kids, and I love the program, and it's just good to be here in Show Low working with the people that I love. So
great. I remember when you were at the junior high, and I remember you going to the high school. I didn't realize it's been 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Wow, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but certainly you've had a lot of experiences there. I wasn't aware that you went to BYU Hawaii.
Yeah.
So how was that? Tell me a little more about the cultural part of attending BYU. Was it like being, the reason I ask is because I really think that every American should spend some time in a foreign country to see how it's like. And I wonder if Hawaii is kind of like that, or tell me a little bit about that.
I would say Hawaii is definitely a foreign country. It is part of the United States, but it has its own culture. And the coolest part for me is that I went to college with kids from over 70 countries.
Really?
So you would walk down the hallway of the university and you would hear 5 different languages in a matter of 30 seconds.
Wow.
And you just got to meet kids from all over the world. I have friends from Thailand, Japan, Saipan, if you know where that is. Kids that I met from Russia, England. We got to sing together in choirs and play together in the university ensembles. And it was just so much fun. My favorite part was playing in the steel drum band when I was in college there. It was just fun to play with kids from all those cultures. There were kids from Tonga and Samoa. And just to hear the different greetings, the talofa, the, maloa lele, all of those greetings that you would hear, and they would just shout them across the campus. And so you just greet your friends with all of that, and to hear aloha every single day, just that spirit. Every class started with aloha, and it was just a lot of fun. And to get to know those people and to understand their culture, and then to share with them a bit of our culture as well. I think my favorite part was teaching all of my friends from all these different countries about biscuits and gravy. My family loves to do biscuits and gravy.
Family. Yeah, I know that.
And we love that. We do the Groundhog's Day breakfast every year as a tradition. And Grandpa Whipple made the best in town, so we've tried to keep that going. And so about once a semester, my friends and roommates would beg me to make biscuits and gravy. And so we would do that. And those kids from the other countries just thought that was the greatest thing. Some of them had never had that before.
Yeah, they have no clue what that is, right?
No idea what cowboy cooking was.
Right.
And so it was a lot of fun to do that for them and to share a part of our culture. And they also shared a lot of their culture with me. So it's really cool.
I just think it's so great to see you having gone. I'm sure those a wonderful place, don't get me wrong, and it's a place I'd like to live and die in. However, the world is a wonderful place.
It is.
And to get out there and have those experiences and maybe fall in love with a place that's where you want to be the rest of your life. is just really cool. And so I think that's great that you had that opportunity. So let's get to what we came to talk about today. Tell me about the high school music program. What's offered? What's going on? Who's teaching? Tell us about it.
Well, the high school music department has 2 teachers, myself and Mr. Marshall Pratt. Funny story, Mr. Pratt was actually my teacher when I was in 5th grade. That was his first year here in the district. And so
now you're aging.
Yeah, now I'm really aging. Yeah. I'm aging both of us, but that's when he was brand new to our district. And so it's been fun to work with him. He was my teacher and now he's my colleague. And I've learned a lot from him over the years, and it's just a great experience to work with Marshall Pratt. He's one of the best teachers we have, and he's just amazing.
Again, so I know I'm interrupting you, but again, here we go. You have been here, you went away, had some experiences, now you've come back, brought those experiences back to us with your various degrees, and how that's meshing and helping our kids is just way too cool.
Well, thank you.
Way too cool.
It's fun to come back home and share and to give back to the community and to the kids. That's kind of what I look at it as. So it's been a lot of fun to share those experiences with the kids and to say, hey, I was in your shoes once. I did this once. I literally was in this classroom. Right. So it's a lot of fun to
and they
share
can see your success and know that they can be successful. So what's Mr. Pratt teach?
So Mr. Pratt is our band director and orchestra director. He teaches beginning guitar, advanced guitar. He teaches the orchestra, the jazz combo band, and then the marching band and the concert band. And the marching band, as you know, has had a great season.
Yeah, so we're talking the football games and whatnot, okay?
Yeah, and they just finished up a spectacular season. They got an excellent rating at the state festival. And I mean, the band is the largest that it's been in 20 years.
Really?
Since I was in high school, this is the biggest the band has been. So that says a lot for the success of the music program in our district, that kids are wanting to be a part of the band and how good it is. So that's an amazing thing for them. It's awesome to see that band grow, and they just have so much fun. And it's been fun to see that progress. And then the jazz combo is getting ready to perform at the basketball games, and just get ready for that to keep the support the basketball teams, get them going. So that's been really fun to see them playing their music and get that going as well. And then the orchestra is just growing and growing. Every year it continues to get larger and the kids continue to get better. So it's been fun to see that program that a few years ago did not exist in our district at all. And now it's alive and well. So it's been exciting to see that as well. And then I teach the choirs. We have 5 different choirs at Show Low High School this year, and then I have 1 beginning guitar class. But we have, for the entry-level students and the freshmen, we have a beginning men's choir and a beginning women's choir. And then there's an advanced women's chorus that is comprised of sophomore through senior girls. And then we have the honor choir that is also sophomore through seniors. And then our top performing ensemble that does everything is Showbiz. So they're kind of the elite kids. They're mostly juniors and seniors, but there are a couple of sophomores in there as well.
Okay.
So
do the kids are they in more than one of the choirs, or do you usually have a set kids for each choir?
They can be, if their schedule permits them to be in more than one. They can take more than one choir, but for the most part, we encourage them to take other electives, not just music, unless they're a diehard. But some of those kids are in band, choir, orchestra. So we want them to branch out, and so most kids just take one choir class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me. A thought I had while you were talking about all of these classes that you have, these various bands and orchestra and the various choirs. What have you got for feeder program into your high school, and how is that working for you?
I think it's working pretty well. K through 5, we have excellent music teachers that are teaching the kids from the very beginning. They get music a couple of times a week. They get to go in there and learn about the basics and the foundation of music, learn to play recorders, kind of some of the fun instruments. They get a really good exposure to music and why it's important in their lives and how much fun it can be. And then when they get into junior high, they can take band, choir, and orchestra as well. And so they start playing instruments, they start singing, they get those fundamentals a little bit more, and then they can come on into the high school, and we just continue to enhance their skills and abilities.
Well, let me ask you another question I thought about. I know I've heard before this that musically inclined people, or people who do music, tend to do better academically also. Can you tell me a little bit why that is, or can you give me an idea of what the expectation is for that, as far as how much better these kids perform? I mean, are all your music kids A and B students? I mean,
not all, but I would say the vast majority are. The thing about music is when you pick up an instrument and you play it, it requires you to use every part of your brain. It engages every part of your brain. So when you're singing an instrument, I mean, it makes you happier. I just read an article this morning that said singing every day makes you a happier person.
Really?
And especially singing in a choir. And so you learn about teamwork, you learn about working with others, you learn to sing your harmonies and parts, and so you've got to make your notes match those others. When you're playing an instrument, you have to make sure that you're playing the right fingerings and listening to the others around you so you're not playing louder or softer. So it just engages more of the brain. There's a lot of higher order thinking that goes into that. It's application and analysis and synthesis and evaluation. It's all of those things happening all at the same time. And so it really makes these kids think, and so they take those skills that they learn in music and then they apply them to their academic classes. And just at Show Low High School, Mr. Pratt and I have kind of been doing some studies over the last couple of years, just keeping track of kids. And we usually in the top 10% have, if there's 16 kids, last year we had 15 of the 16 kids in the top 10% were music students. And it tends to be that
says a lot.
90 or 95% usually of the top 10% of Show Low High School, those kids are music kids. They've either taken a music class or they're currently enrolled in a music class. And it just helps them to be better academically. And they do more. These kids that are involved in music want to be involved in everything.
So obviously we want to encourage parents to encourage their kids to pick up an instrument or at the very least use their voice as an instrument.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it improves scores on testing. I mean, the studies have been done all over the place. But your kids that are in music do better academically.
Great. I loved you said, I wrote it down because you said it. You said higher order of thinking.
Yeah.
And that's really, when we talk about kids going from high school into the university, that's really what it's requiring.
Yeah,
it's a big step up, the rigor and everything for them to be able to achieve that higher level, higher order of thinking.
Yeah, and music's something that can stay with them their whole lives. They can continue with music, even if it's just singing in a choir in college or playing an instrument, but they continue to keep those skills forever. And
then obviously, hopefully, their children see them playing an instrument or singing, and then their children become interested and involved, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah.
So how many, if you were to give me a ballpark, or maybe how many of our children in the high school are involved in the music program one way or another?
I would say between the numbers Mr. Pratt has and myself, we share a few duplicates, but I would say it's probably around 350 kids.
Really?
Yeah.
How many kids do we have at the high school? Do you know off the top of your head?
In between 850, 900, somewhere in there.
So you've got a full third.
Yeah.
Easily a third of the kids.
I would say so. Check my numbers, but
no, I mean we're ballparking here, but even if you say 350 and we're at 300, if you got duplicates, I mean 300 out of 900 is a third.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
That is amazing. I mean, we don't have any other. I dare say we don't have any other program in the high school that has that kind of number, right?
I don't think so.
I'm probably not even close to that. That's amazing. Yeah. So what are some of the exciting things that are happening in the high school with the music program?
There's always festivals and concerts. We've got our Christmas concert coming up. There's Feast of Carols. There's
Do you know when the Christmas concert is?
The concert is Monday, December 16th.
Okay.
Monday, it'll be at the auditorium at 7 p.m.
Great.
So all the high school ensembles will be performing at that.
So all of Mr. Pratt's groups and all of your groups are going to perform?
Yep, and we're even doing a big combined number with everybody together on stage.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be really exciting.
So December 16th is a day to mark on your calendar then. What, 7 p.m.?
7 p.m. and it's free. It's a family night. Bring your families. Come join us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we're going to be heavy Christmas theme there?
Yeah,
on that?
definitely.
Great. Cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, I've often thought in my head, but I've said it out loud too, Christmas for me in Show Low, because I didn't do this when I lived in the Valley, but Christmas for me in Show Low is not Christmas without the high school singing their Christmas program.
Oh,
and you said the Feast of Carols. We're going to talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about that a little bit later. But that's great. Anything else? We got the high school program, the music program. What else is going on?
We could just highlight Showbiz. They performed in October at the State Choral Festival this year.
Okay.
And in the 7 years that I've been teaching at the high school, this is the group that has scored the highest.
Really?
They received a superior with distinction, which means they got a superior rating for the songs that they performed for 2 adjudicators. And then they also were given a piece of music they had never seen before. 20 measures of a song, 4-part harmony. They'd never seen it, and they had 5 minutes to learn to sing it, and they did.
Really?
And so these kids can not only sing songs, but they can read music and look at it on the site. And so they were given a superior rating on their sight reading as well.
Wow.
So
that is a major test.
it is a major test, and it's a major test.
what would that be equivalent to? That'd be equivalent of giving me a math problem I've never seen before.
Probably.
And asking me to perform it.
Yeah. In
Wow.
front of a judge.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so they did it, and the trick was the first time that they looked at the music, they could not sing it at all. They had to only look at it and figure out what the pitches were in their heads. They could not sing.
Really?
And then we gave them the starting pitches, and they had to sing it for the judge.
No kidding.
So they don't get to sing it the first time, and then they
Wow.
actually get a couple of minutes that they can work as a group and learn their parts and sing it a little bit better and see if they do better. But they just nailed it. Those kids are reading music, they're singing music, and it's an awesome group this year.
So let me ask you, with that particular one, after they sang it, did they have a chance to hear it how it would be supposed to?
Nope.
Really? Not
Nope.
before or after?
Nope. And the only thing that I could do was I said, okay, here's your pitches again, and I played their pitches for them.
Wow.
They had to figure out where they made the mistakes and correct it. So it was student-led, student-driven. The section leader said, hey guys, we messed up this measure, let's fix it. Or
Wow,
let's
that's
do better
amazing.
here. And then they performed it again, and they did even better than they did the first time.
Wow, so I don't think I could do that. I really don't.
It's hard.
I mean, I don't know how to read music, and I'm not musically inclined at all, but that sounds really difficult.
It is, but these kids have learned how to do it, and it's something we've really worked on is reading music as choir students. Instead of just hearing a song and singing it back, they're really learning to read notes.
Wow, that is great.
And it's been fun.
Are there any other student achievements you can tell me about?
We'll have a lot of things coming up in the spring with regionals. We have students that'll be auditioning for region honor band, choir, and orchestra, and we always have a good representation. Anywhere from 30 to 60 kids make it from our high school to represent our region. And then at All-State, we have kids that make All-State as well. There's other festivals that we'll be attending. And we always aim for those high marks, and we don't settle for anything less than our best.
So when you talk about regionals and state, are these these are trips that you go
yeah,
somewhere?
yeah.
Where's regionals held and where's state?
Regionals will actually be at Blue Ridge High School this year.
Okay, so close.
Yeah, the auditions will be in Show Low, but the festival's in Blue Ridge.
Okay.
And then All-State, if the students make it, it's actually held at Gamage at ASU.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's a wonderful venue.
Exactly.
I've been I've seen off-Broadway shows there.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful venue. What about locally? Are the kids doing anything with the city? Do they sing at any?
Yeah, we're
anything
performing
like that?
some different things, different places throughout the month of December. There will be different places that we perform. On the 17th, I know Showbiz and the Guitar Ensemble will be doing a concert with the White Mountain Barbershop.
Oh, really? That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
and then we're doing some Christmas caroling around town. We'll be visiting some different venues and going to the schools. The younger kids love to have the big kids come and sing, and so we'll be doing things like that. So
Great.
you'll hear us and see us around town. So.
Great, super. That is cool. So this year, is there do you have a musical this year? I know. Tell me a little bit about that schedule, because you kind of do an every other year thing, don't you? Tell me how that works.
We do a musical in the even numbered years, and then we do a Broadway review in the odd number years. So this year, we are actually going to be doing Mary Poppins.
Oh, really?
And
are we talking second semester?
Yeah.
In 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
The auditions will actually start December 9th. But then we will keep the production rolling, and the performances will actually be April 29th and 30th and May 1st and 2nd.
Okay.
So we'll be doing a performance for the schools, and then another matinee show on Saturday, and then we have 4 night shows that we'll be doing. So 6 shows in 4 days. It's pretty busy, but the students will spend 4.5 months preparing that whole show, doing the sets, the props, singing, dancing, learning all their lines. You know, we involve the parents with costumes and all of that. Just, it takes the whole community to put this thing together. But it ends up being an amazing production. We have a strong tradition of musicals in Show Low, and they are some of the best on the mountain.
So I agree with you. I've seen them for several years running now, and they're always just great. But I don't want to look over the fact. I know it's about the kids, but I don't want to overlook the fact that all of this is done after school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we've got you. I assume we're going to have several teachers that will be involved in helping out. Probably some of your lower level music teachers, junior high, and maybe even the elementaries, and then of course all the parents that volunteer to help. So it's quite a big deal in that. You know, you're not doing this from 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon during the school hours. This is all after hours.
Yes.
It's huge, and I'm so grateful for what you do, because we all know that that's all extra time you're putting in.
Well, it's worth it for the kids. They love it. I love it. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And when you get to see the final product, it's so worth it. Yeah. And it's awesome to be able to continue that tradition of Show Low musicals, because I was in them when I was in high school, and I loved them. And they are always amazing. And so you just want to make sure we keep that tradition alive and keep the standard alive. Good. So we strive for that.
Well, again, you said something that stuck out in my mind. It's all about the kids.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
Yeah, and that's a teacher's heart, right? That's what I love about teachers. Yeah. It's all about the kids. That's a teacher's heart for sure. Yep. So lastly, we've got a few minutes left.
Okay.
Lastly, tell me about Feast of Carols. I know that's coming up.
Yes.
You're hot and heavy in it and working hard in it. Tell me about it. So
Feast of Carols this year will be presented December 5th, 6th, and 7th. This is actually the 35th anniversary. It's a long-standing tradition, and I couldn't say anything about Feast of Carols without first recognizing its founder, Scott Gentry. You know, he started this as just a potluck dinner with some parents helping him out, and they sang a few Christmas carols, and it was performed in what is now the junior high, back when there was a fireplace still in the building. The people that were a part of it back in 1983 will remember that. And so the tradition has continued. In '91, they turned it into a Renaissance festival and a Renaissance dinner. And the tradition has just grown. From when I was in high school and a part of the production from 95 through 98, it was just a special memory. The Christmas carols we got to sing, the parts we got to play, the fun that it involved. And then just that special memory at the end as the kings say their final farewell of just, you know, so as our farewell now we sigh, remember us as we will thee. Music when soft voices die, vibrate in the memory. And it's, you know, you wish your friends the very best at a Christmas season. And it is a tradition that is truly unique to Show Low. And so when you come, it's an experience. It's a memory. It's something that the kids remember forever. And on the first day of school, I'm always asked, when is Feast of Carols? Really? And my comment is, guys, it's in December, as it always is.
It's
when do we
August.
start it? And that's what they love the most. It's the memory that they treasure the most. And so, you know, the traditional carols are always there. We have the kings and the queens that are always a part of it, that lead the cast. And I love it when the students take ownership of the show. I direct them where they stand, where they go, and then I say, take it. It's your show. Make it your feast. And every year, those seniors who are in those top roles just take it, and they run with it, and they make it their show. And that's what makes Feast of Carols such a unique tradition. It is so special because it's something that the kids make their own. And it's just unique. You know, we have so many students that are involved. There's around 100 kids involved in the production again this year. Everything from the band, the recorders, the brass, you know, the servant singers. We have 6th grade through 12th grade, and even some little tiny ones that are in elementary that are the little prince and princesses. And it's just something that is special. The Renaissance tradition, the script, that everything that goes with it. It's all about peace and brotherhood and coming together and working together to create something that means something to everyone. And that's the kids, you can see them come together and how they work together to make the production happen. They do the decorating. They really make it their production. And with the help of their parents, this production is something that will continue, I hope, for a very long time.
Well, I hope that means that you're here for a very long time.
I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Good,
I'm
good.
home and I'm happy and I love it here.
Good. Well, I know we had a school board meeting last week, and you brought several of the kids in. They sang us a song, and you shared with us about feast carols and whatnot. And I think when I hear your choir sing Christmas music, it turns into Christmas for me.
It does.
And it's the wonderful holiday spirit that this time of year brings is really great, and you're a part of that, and your kids are a part of that, and I appreciate that. So I just want to tell you how appreciative I am of what you do and what Mr. Pratt does. The excellence that we have in the music program. I think it's the top program that we have in our school district. Certainly the most happening one. It's the busiest one.
It is busy.
It's an all year round thing.
Yes.
There's no real season to it. You guys are rocking and rolling all year long. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate your efforts, and mostly I appreciate the excellence that it brings out of the kids.
Yeah.
And the improvement and the development that they have as individuals, I think just goes right hand in hand with their academics, and I really appreciate that.
I agree.
All right,
Well,
thanks
thank
for
you.
spending
so
time
much.
with us.
Well, it was good to be
Appreciate
here.
it. Yeah, and we'll do this again. I'll get with you. Maybe I don't know if it'll be the end of this year, or we'll do it again next year. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us here on the School Zone, and we'll see you again soon.